Hey, what's up, guys? So I got a win in yesterday, and I was able to move up some more in the rankings, and hopefully I can go 2-1. I think at this stage, going 3-0 is not likely, and I've been pretty steady with 2-1, so hopefully I can keep that streak going, and we'll see. The matches are definitely getting harder, and I think this is probably a very competitive, or most competitive matchmaking I've had this season with all the guys I'm going against. So let's take a look at who I'm going against. I'm matched against OL Almost Deaf. I guess it's Almost Deaf. And these are the guys that are that actually went 0-1. So I would probably match with one of the, I would think, well, there's no telling. I matched with one of the three guys because I went against Loaded Diapers if I lose. And I have no idea really who I go against if I win. But let's take a look at my opponent's stats. And these are my stats. And so this is when I'm running on defense. I've actually already gotten in my attacks, so what we'll do is we'll just jump right over to the attacks, and you'll see from the replay the defense that my opponent had and where they were and where his teams are set in comparison to mine. So basically I wanted you guys to just see how efficient this defense is, just Infinity Watch in room 1. And I thought about doing it, some guys have suggested doing it, but I do like what I have now. This is, however, something to really consider because it is a real efficiency sink in room 1. And here I want you guys to see how the new Warriors are just not keeping up with Spider Society. And I don't think any of us want to spend the Mystic Gear to G19 our entire new Warriors, so they're not going to be effective against Spider Society with this concept once you start seeing 1 mil punch-ups and more. So Illuminati came through. They did their job here. I just think that I've got to look at ways to use them more effectively now instead of just going right in on the old man Logan comps. Using Apoc here was very efficient for this room, but I may have needed to take the chance and try to just use straight Superior 6 to beat this team. So my opponent helped me see that I've got to use my teams more selectively, and using the Secret Defenders is probably not the best choice here, even though it's only really the Nightcrawler's the real threat. I think Quicksilver is a serious threat, but the combination of them with the other 3 X-Men helping out those 2 was really just too much for my Secret Defenders, which is really a pretty strong Secret Defenders, just used totally wrong for this attempt. So this is still a very reliable counter for what we have seen in the past in Room 6. And so what it helps me to see is that it's just all about planning the attacks better in the other two rooms. And I would have had a chance to win this. And so just flipping a couple of teams, maybe Secret Defenders on 2, and then using maybe even New Warriors or whatever else on room, I guess it was 5, could have changed the outcome of this entire trial. So even after taking a loss as badly as I did, there's a lot for me to be encouraged about going forward. This is still a very good defense. It's just the out-of-time 4-piece with Dorm is scaling well. And I put a G19 on the Captain America here, and you can see how this team is doing really well in Room 1. So it's clear that this will be the team I need to go forward with for the end of the season, no matter what happens, because it's going to cause some type of problems as guys are trying to figure out how to work the other rooms. And so here is the first lesson, I think, in understanding that when you're looking at Spider Society, this is probably the best use of Secret Defenders. And so I wasn't quite sure, but after looking at, because all the diamonds on his team and he went in with Doom, but I'm thinking that that's probably going to have to be the way to go. So rather than go in with your New Warriors, if possible, I mean, if you're looking at something that's a 200 or 300K punch up, then maybe that's a little different. But even with what he had here, looking at mine, he just said, no, it's better off with Secret Defenders. And he, and it was a solid efficiency, with a 61. That's pretty average. But he, he got the win, and it was for sure. And that's what I'm looking at now, just going for the for sure win. And so here, he uses Illuminati, and that could have been a good choice. I mean, we're going to look at the other rooms and see, but it just goes to show that you don't have to necessarily use Illuminati on Old Man Logan all the time. I do think Cabal will work here, but maybe he was looking at how he could just balance out his attacks. I mean, clearly he won and he had a decent efficiency overall. So in hindsight, there's nothing wrong with using your Illuminati on this old setup of the Sasquatch Hive Mind Skrull. And so I do like the idea of going in with Cabal on room 4. When you see Old Man Logan, Nightcrawler, and Black Knight, because it can be pretty efficient. He lost his Absorbing Man, which hurt him a little bit, but overall he got an A362, which is slightly above average with that score. And so he just went in, and he had some problems here. I'm not quite sure what it was. Maybe he should have used Vulture instead of the Lizard, and that might have been better for him because he got a lot of diamonds on his team. So he struggled a bit with this Xmen comp in this room, which would have helped me had I done better. But it's just good to know that Xmen still are a good team to put in 5, and maybe as well as room 4. And so here, he just kind of went in with the same type of counter I think I need to be looking at is just whatever you're seeing in here when you see Annihilators, even with Skrull, you got to look at using some type of Apoc comp. And I think Apoc with Weaver and Red Hulk could be the foundation of whatever you're going to do when you see Annihilators in here, because it seems to be a pretty solid counter against them. So that's it for this one, guys. I got a lot of good lessons from this. I'm really encouraged. And even though I took a really serious loss, it's helped me to understand that I have something solid with what I have on defense and my balance with offense. And there's just a few more minor tweaks that need to be made. But overall, I think things will end up shaping up for me where I can try to make a run and finish with this goal of M1 in top 250. Okay, chat later, guys.